One big misconception is that it is still a country that's dependent on oil. It's not just oil anymore.
Countries cannot survive stand alone. They have to depend on each other and they have to open their doors like Saudi has done, and it's a very big change.
We want to live next to people that we know, that resemble us, that they have our own culture, for example, or they share our same experience or interest.
Business is based on relationships. Any kind of business you do, even work for that matter, it's based on relationships.
We have one of the best platforms to be able to share knowledge, experience across several industries, not only in India, but across the world. And this is very important for any platform to go across and beyond their borders.
Hi everyone, I'm Mohsinaa Ahmad. Welcome to Self-Discovery, where every story is a reminder that the journey inward is the most powerful journey of all. Today on our podcast episode, I am joined by Mohamad Rabih Itani, an award-winning real estate strategist and a market growth expert with more than 25 years of leadership experience across the Gulf, MENA, and Far East. With a career spanning global developers, public sector entities, and top-tier real estate firms, Mohamad has been a trusted voice in business development, strategic planning, and city transformation. He has held senior leadership roles at Knight Frank MENA region, United Real Estate Company, and Dar Al Arkan. Also founded an award-winning consultancy recognized for its innovation in branded residences and master planned communities. His work extends to major public-private partnerships, urban initiatives in Riyadh, Muscat, and Kuala Lumpur, where he has played a key role in shaping modern skylines. Mohamad has successfully delivered multi-million-dollar projects, built alliances with world-class brands such as JW Marriott, and advised government bodies on national housing and smart city development. Mohamad is multilingual, fluent in Arabic, English, and French. He is also a published thought leader, frequently sharing insights on Gulf real estate trends. Mohamad holds an MBA from the Lebanese American University and a master's in global smart cities management from the University of Barcelona. Hi, Mohamad. Welcome to Self-Discovery Podcast. How are you doing?
Hello, Mohsinaa. Thank you very much for having you on my show. I'm very excited to share some of my experience across the real estate sector. Thank you very much.
So, Mohamad, please tell me, when did you first realize just how important community living in real estate is?
Well, actually, community living is not new, and it's something that we as human beings, since we started living on this earth, we started living across within tribes and within families. And later, with the industrial revolution and the internet, we became more and more busy, and we started to travel, to eliminate ourselves from our cities. At the same time, we went where the job has taken us. But at the same time, we realized after that we want to live next to people that we know, that resemble us, that they have our own culture, for example, or they share our same experience or interest. And this is where community living today is very important. Another aspect of community living, that it is a very centric one, meaning that people would like to live next to their businesses, next to their kids' schools, next to an environment where there are healthcare, gyms. And this is where the concept of community living today reappears within our societies. Where we can start to see a lot of us who like to live next to our friends and our neighbors, and they are called neighbors at the end of the days. And these neighbors are people that we trust and we would love to stay or live next to them.
Yes. So people these days, they are choosing community living. Like you said, transportation is a major factor for this. Okay, they want to reduce the time spent on the roads, and they want to give it to more like families, or probably going to a club and playing a tennis game. And they are focused in their well-being rather than being on the road and going through the stress of everyday transportation. So please tell me about this. Okay, the community focused developments that you are doing right now. How has it changed from the time you began in real estate Okay, how has that changed? And now people being focused in community developments.
100%. If you look at how the urban living in the world today, we see that around 50% of the population lives within cities. And by 2050, this number is expected to increase to 70%, meaning 70 or 75% of the world populations will be living within cities. So this is why transportation is very important. So whenever we try to reduce the transportation time, our productivity will be higher and the economy of any country will be better. This is why a lot of today's cities, connectivity is very important between cities. And for the people who lives within these cities, how they are reaching their jobs. And this is why, for example, we see today the 5 or 10 minutes walk city, meanings that you'll be able to find everything that you want within your proximity. And this is where today we see the live work concept also arise within developments. And we're seeing here a lot within Saudi Arabia or the Gulf, a lot of these projects that are starting to come around with the new cities that are being developed, either by private developers or within the destinations that are being launched by the Public Investment Fund, the PIF, in Saudi Arabia, or the projects that are being done with the partnership of the Ministry of Housing.
Because you have spoken about community living, okay, you have spoken about people not being on the roads and being in better activities or family life or the stress going out. You've spoken about all these things. Can you please tell me here that what is it that has changed from a community 10 years back and the developments that you are going ahead in Saudi and Dubai? What are the amenities that has been added to community living?
I think if you look at what people are looking today and what the governments in these countries are working on is a better quality of life for their people and the expats or any citizens that's living within these countries. And when we say quality of life, it's better health life, better work life, better balanced life, societal life. So this means when I say that I want to live a better life, meaning that I want to be able to do more in a relaxed environment, at the same time, not worry about the environment of the communities that I'm living in. I want, for example, anyone wants his family to be safe when he's at work, for example. His kids to have a good quality of education and good healthcare services. And I think if we look at the GCC in general and Saudi Arabia in particular, where I work, is that the government is pushing towards this. And the private developers today, for example, are looking to develop more and more projects. This is where we see, for example, branded residences, concepts of wellness living that are coming out, and the live work play concept that I mentioned.
Also, I would like to mention here that security is a very major aspect in terms of community living, right? You live on a standalone kind of a house. You don't know, you have to keep your own guards, cameras, fittings, and all that. But security in a community living is a very major aspect, right? Also, people don't want to spend their lives or time flying on the road and reaching destinations. They want everything in their vicinity. Say, like you mentioned, healthcare, you mentioned schools, sports amenities. So this has become a trend amongst everyone.
True. First of all, this is where we can see today a lot of smart cities concepts coming out, whereas security is well controlled. And if you take, for example, the gated community concept, where you have security across this community, or when it comes to the branded residences living, where in a certain tower or certain community, for example, you have concierge services, you have receptions, and you have your own when it comes to services that you're going to have. Definitely, this is what we're seeing in the compound or communities that are coming out, is that it is well controlled. And generally, GCC is a very, when it comes to safety, all of us want to live in safe environments, and this is what we are seeing here.
Absolutely. Dubai has anyways opened its doors for foreign investors. Okay, now Saudi is opening up its doors for foreign investors, and it has become a hotspot for investors who wants to invest from all over the world. How has this changed the real estate scenario in Saudi?
True. The Vision 2030 was launched in 2016. At that time, the real estate sector, when it comes to the GDP, used to be around 5.6%. And if we look today, 2025, we see that the real estate sector consists of reach 12 or 13% of the total GDP. So the government worked on several fronts. The first one is the home ownership for Saudis. The home ownership for Saudis, according to the Vision 2030, is to reach 70% home ownership. And when they started the vision, it was at around 40, 44, 45%. Today, we are at 65.7%.
Wow.
The second thing is the foreign home ownerships. And starting next year, international investors and anyone living anywhere will be able to invest in real estate in Saudi Arabia. And for this, they started to create a lot of destinations. So we find some cities, some new projects, not only in Riyadh, but Riyadh, Jeddah. You have new destinations like Neom, Al Ola, and you have Giddiya, for example, in Riyadh. And each project that has been done is a destination of its own. So you will be able to have its own characteristics and its own mix of products, whether we're talking residential, apartment, townhouses, villas, or talk, for example, when it comes to offices and healthcare facilities and education or entertainment. And at the same time, new type of projects came out. And as we all know that Saudi Arabia will have the Expo by 2030 and the World Cup by 2034. So this is why, for example, there is today the General Authority of Entertainment. You have the Ministry of Tourism and you have the Ministry of Sports. Within the objective of 2030, we see that one of their objectives when it comes to tourism, for example, is to attract 150 million tourists. They reached in 2025 100 million tourists. And for this, for example, if we look at the real estate sector when it comes to hospitality, Riyadh alone is in need of 200,000 rooms. So we see a lot of hotels, whether we're talking 3, 4, or 5 stars, being built at the moment. You have, for example, Al Ola project, where it's cultural and heritage and touristic destinations where a lot of hospitality components are being built there. And the type of products started to change. So people are not only looking for first home, they are looking for second homes. The type of projects that the foreigner is looking for, any foreigner is looking, when it comes to investment, he's looking for a second home to invest. This means that he's looking for an income generating asset. This means that he expects a certain percentage or profit to be done from any units that he will buy. And at the same time, you have what comes with any market comes the branded residences. The branded residences is an assurance that your project will be sustainable, that whatever you will buy in a certain brand, it will have its value and it will continue to have its value. This is why today, when we say about the real estate, it's really a transformation. It's a huge transformation because the objective is not just to build, but to turn these projects into sustainable projects. The real estate objective of the government is to turn it into sustainable real estate. And this is today where all the public and the private sectors and the international developers that are coming to this country, to Saudi Arabia, are looking to develop such projects.
Absolutely. But having said that, you have spoken about branded residences. They are still a very, very new concept for people. When you see the trends that comes in, okay, so is it a trend or is it something that is here to stay? And what are the things that you are seeing? What are the global trends that you're getting in here?
Thank you for the question. In fact, branded residence is a 100 years old concept. It's not something new. And however, it's just over the last 5 years that we started to see a lot of the real estate developers, not only in the GCC, but worldwide, turning into this concept. Allow me to start by defining a branded residences. A branded residence is a residence that is attached to a hotel. And this means that anyone who will buy will be able to use the services of the hotel. And when it comes to using the amenities, the services, and the concierge services that the hotel have. And today, for example, we have the hotel type of branded residence and the non-hotel type of branded residence. If we look at the world, we have around 110,000 branded residences of units around the world. And the GCC is only 10% of this. Saudi Arabia, we are only around 1,500 branded residences units when it comes to properties, and we have around 2,600 units under construction. And Saudi Arabia's objective is to be a destination and Riyadh to be one of the top 10 destinations in the world. And when it comes to the high end and the ultra high net worth individuals, when they come to buy and invest in any country, the first thing is that they look at is the branded residence. Along the hotel branded resi, we started to see the non-hotel branded residences, for example, let's say the fashion industry like Versace, Fendi, Dolce & Gabbana, or you say, for example, the watch industry today, we started to see Jacobs and Co., for example. Looking at the cars, for example, you have the Maserati Towers or the Bentley residences. Each of these non-hotel, and some of them are like the U, for example, each of this branded resi component has its own, any name has its own characteristic. For example, the hotel brand today, we have let's say the Marriott, they have the Ritz-Carlton, they have or Accor, you have the Raffles, and a lot of it's becoming a way of life. Anyone would like to live in a brand. I mean, you and me, if we can live in a brand, we will be able to live in a brand because we want this amenities, we want the service, we want to be feeling, we want people like to feel that they are pampered. Same time, since they are worked, since a lot of us work today, we don't have the time to do everything. This means that if we can find of these services being done for us by an operator, we will do it. Be ready to pay for it for us to have a peace of mind. So this is why today the branded resi is not just a trend that will go away with time, because it's been there and it's been building since 1914, for example. But I think that it is here to stay, and it's one of the components of any real estate markets in any part of the world.
It's like if we can carry it, why not stay in it, right? It makes you feel special. It makes you feel unique and different than the rest. It's an amazing concept. What's one big misconception international investors have about Saudi or GCC real estate market today?
I think that one big misconception is that it is still a country that's dependent on oil. It's not just oil anymore. I think that 50% of Saudi GDP is non-oil driven, is driven by non-oil. So today you have minerals, you have the real estate sector that we're talking about, you have the entertainment industry, you have the tourism industry, you have the general investor. You find today a lot of international investors coming into this country, going into many other areas or industry other than oil and gas. The second misconception is that it's a country where it's difficult to do business. On the contrary, Saudi Arabia is a country that has been I think, ranked 17th globally when it comes to ease of doing business, and 7th or 6th place when it comes to friendly business, foreign business place. This means that around 700 laws have been amended, changed, or updated for the international investors to come to Saudi Arabia. And I think that a lot of opportunities. It's a country that is offering a lot to international investors. And, it was a sleeping giant, and this giant has wake up.
Tell me one thing. Dubai is the place where everyone is going now. All the nationalities are there, and Saudi is the next place. Okay. How long do you think it will take for Saudi to reach Dubai's way of accepting foreigners and opening up to foreign investors? And like you said, people have their second homes as well here. People come and work and go. Setting up business has become very easy in Saudi. So how long do you think it will take to come up to where Dubai is today?
I think that each city has its own characteristics. Each city offers something for the expatriates or for the citizens or its nationals. And if we look at Dubai, for example, when they started construction, we see that a lot of the population or the nationalities that came, a lot of them were from India, from the other parts of the Far East. Then Europe started to come. Looking at the population of Dubai, we're talking about 3.6 million today. Their objective is to reach 6.5 million by 2040. Whereas Saudi Arabia has many different cities, talking about Riyadh, Jeddah, Mecca, Medina, we're talking about the Eastern Province, Khobar, and the new projects that are coming out. We're talking about a population of 35 million, meaning that Riyadh alone is 8 million. By 2030, we're expecting the population to grow to 9.2 million. At the same time, the number of expats in Saudi is expected to reach 50% by 2030. This means that 40 million, half of the population, will be expats. It's not just that these two cities are competing, but I think these two cities are complementing each other when it comes to the opportunities. A lot of the people who live in Dubai work in Saudi. A lot of Saudis, when it comes to people, a lot of Saudis, for example, they're looking to meet with companies in Dubai and move it to allow to entice them to invest and open up in Saudi Arabia. But I really think that each city has its own, flavor. And Saudi Arabia just started in 2017, and it's now that everything is coming up today. So it's a place where you have new economic zones that are coming up. It's a place where international schools are being opened. A lot of the international companies are opening up with the HQ program that they launched, a headquarters program that was launched. So whether we're talking Dubai, or talking Riyadh or Jeddah or any other city, I think that each city offers something for a different way of life, if you want, for the expat.
We are also seeing a lot of investments or Indians being interested in Saudi. How is that trend going? And do you think that though I believe there are a lot of Indians who are already there in Saudi. Okay, so how has that, will they have that same level of comfort that they have in Dubai? Okay, and what is the trend? Where are you seeing more influx in Saudi?
I mean, the Indians today, they are the first or the second biggest expats population in Saudi Arabia. We have around 2.3 to 2.4 million Indians living within Saudi Arabia. And today it's not just about, the labor force of the working, but we have investors, we have people in high job titles working in the investment industries. 2024, 2025, the trade agreements, the trade between Saudi Arabia and India reached around 42 billion US dollars. And this is very important because an agreement was signed between His Royal Highness Prince Mohammed bin Salman and your Prime Minister, Mr. Modi, when it comes to encouraging and increasing the flow of trade and investment between these two countries. So we find today Indian construction companies, we find today Indian investors in mining, we find a lot of the businessmen that are opening in this country, because we believe the people who will first start to buy international properties, one of the top nationalities will be Indians also.
Absolutely true. Indians being there and doing well in every aspect of life. I think that's a very, very good platform as well, Saudi being open now. Because of social media, there has been a lot of awareness as well. Because Saudi was initially thought to be orthodox or not open to people outside the world. But now, because of social media, people going there and having a good time, coming back, having that feel of being welcomed, I believe that it has changed a lot in terms of the perception that global foreigners would have for Saudi or people who don't belong there. Okay, Mohamad, you have opened your consultancy. Okay, can you please speak about that? I believe the name is Keller Williams Prime. And what is the kind of services that you provide, and how do we approach you? Anybody who wants to, say, invest in it or associate with it, how should we approach you?
Yeah. In fact, Keller Williams is one of the largest brokerage firm by agent count in the United States. It has more than 200,000 agents. It was established in Saudi Arabia in 2022. And at this moment, I established with Keller Williams Prime, which is a service company focused on providing consultancy, real estate consultancy services, and sales and marketing of projects, meaning brokerage services. And my focus is branded resi and to cater for investors who want to come in to Saudi Arabia, looking for opportunities in any region, in any project that is coming up. And I can be reached through my website, kw-prime.com, or through my email, mohamad.itani@kwsaudiarabia.com, or through my mobile and WhatsApp, which is +966 506 413 473.
What's your vision for it and how will it be different?
Well, I think that I've always worked on the development side, and I've always been on the developer side of the business and seeing the how we execute, seeing things on the project side, mainly the sales and marketing, which is my area. I believe that since I executed such projects, I'm working now with developers on consulting how best to launch a project, what's the best product to do, what's how to price a certain project, and how to market it. So it's not just that I do consultancy, but I do consultancy and I present my report and I am responsible about what's in this report since I executed. And I think this is what the market misses. I've been in this market for 22 years, and I think that people would love to see, for example, that yes, this is the part of projects that I have, since you already worked in this country and you already know what people want, what the buyer wants, whether we're looking at the local or the international or the experts or the international buyer, what is the best product that we can develop, what's the best use, how to market it, and how to sell it.
Amazing. So anybody who is looking from any corner of the world, you're looking to invest in Saudi, Mohamad is the right one to approach. He and his team will take care and make you comfortable in terms of the investment and the questions that you have. If you could design your dream community, what would it look like? And what is it that you will do differently than what is existing?
I think that each and every project that comes out in any part of the world, we can learn from it. There are no perfect place or projects. And I think that
Always evolving.
100% learning from the mistakes that's happening in these projects. But I would say that anyone of us would like to live in a community or a project that is vibrant, that is eco-friendly, that's inclusive, where we know our neighbors, when we feel safe with our neighbors, would like to live with our neighbors, and architecturally, meaning design-wise, should be nice, should be good, should be whether we like modern or classic, but I mean it has to be good for the eye. A lot of the projects today, you don't feel comfortable when you look at them. And social interaction today is very important, whether in business, whether in lifestyle, whether in everything. It's all about socially. As you said, the social media keeps us away, but at the same time, if we know how to use it well, it brings us together, like we are doing at the moment. This is very important in this, and how to use technology in these projects to be able to save more money, to be able to make it more safe, to be able to, reduce energy usage or water consumptions. And this is very important in any project.
That's absolutely true, Mohamad. The thought process that you have and the experience that you have, the way you have presented it, the knowledge that you have given, it is absolutely excellent. And today, I believe that countries cannot stand alone. They have to depend on each other and they have to, open their doors like Saudi has done. And it's a very, very big change. And there is a lot of influx that will happen. Expats will be there, and people are loving that environment, the development that is there. Okay, so this perspective that you have given through the real estate world, it is excellent, I would say. And like you have mentioned, branded residences coming up, bringing in the uniqueness, community level development. I believe it's like a plethora of developments we are seeing in Saudi, not just in the real estate sector, but in all other areas, which is leading to an absolute surge and demand in real estate because people would love to stay in this kind of a place.
I think it was a great interview. Thank you very much, Mohsinaa. I really appreciate it. And it's good that you play also a role interchanging and bringing people together in different countries. And this is very important and encouraging, because I know that I have lots of Indian friends. And today, for example, they are here, they work, they are businessmen, they are successful in what they do. And whether in Dubai, whether in Riyadh, Dubai, we have a lot, and they are buying, they are investing, they are making money. And it's a way of really encouraging the relationship between any persons, not whether we're talking Riyadh, GCC, or any other country in the world. because business is based on relationships and network, providing good and excellent service
That's a powerful line. Business is based on relationships.
100%.
I feel that is the power and that is the connect of this any kind of business you do, even work for that matter. It's based on relationships. So it's amazing having you.
I've been following you for a while now, and I think that you have one of the best platforms to be able to share knowledge, experience across several industries, not only in India, but India and across the world. And this is very important to be for any platform to go across and beyond their borders. So congratulations and thank you very much.
Thank you very much.